Thank you for coming. I really appreciate that you have managed to find time in the pre-Christmas rush to join our webinar today. So please let me know that you can hear and see me well. You can add like plus sign in the chat box. Okay, so just we need to check that the connection is fine and you can see and hear everything well. Okay, and while we are waiting for the others to join us today, I would like to learn a bit more about you. So can you please tell us, tell me and tell your everyone who has joined us today, something about your professional area, like what sphere of digital marketing are you taking up? And how well are you familiar with SEMrush tools? And actually, do you make reports yourself? Have you tried to do it with the help of My Reports tool? So it will be really interesting if you can share this information with me and with the rest of the audience. Okay? Okay. Okay, good, fine. So while you are leaving your messages, while you're telling about your professional area and your interest in, like, why have you come here, maybe what kind of features you would like to learn more about, I would like to introduce myself. So my name is Tanya, and I will be holding this webinar today. And actually, I used to work in the customer success department, so I'm familiar with the tool pretty well, and I hope that my experience will help you to learn more about it too. So you will be able to learn everything you need about reporting. So I'm going to share with you the agenda in just 1 minute. But generally, I would like to tell you that today the main idea is to like help you understand that SEMrush really helps you to simplify your daily routine work, and so you can like save your time for for something else instead of making reports. Because actually, when we were creating this tool, we analyzed lots of things by ourselves, and we came to understand that usually it can take up to a few hours, like maybe even 4 hours or 3 hours, to take all the statistics to like actually pull it all together in one report, and that's really very time consuming. So that's why, to make it easier for you, we have developed a special tool which you can now use, and you can use it basically on every plan. Only there are some features available on like upgraded plans, but I'm going to tell you about it a bit later. Okay, so I think that maybe we can already start now. I'm going to share my screen with you, and please let me know if there are any issues that happen, if you experience some problems with the sound or any problems with the video. Please let me know. We will try to figure it out on our side so you can enjoy the webinar. So, okay, so okay, so now we can actually start our with our main topic, with my reports of SEMrush. So now it's the time when you're making some preparing some annual reports and monthly reports, maybe to your clients, maybe to your boss, maybe to some of your colleagues. Maybe you're just sharing the results of your work, of your mutual work. And as reports can be time-consuming and stressful, as I've mentioned before, when it comes to annual reporting, it can be even really frightening and dreadful. So SEMrush has made a solution to make this process more efficient and smooth. And we're going to take a look at these things today. So first of all, about our agenda. So what we're going to talk about today. So we're going to discuss what makes a good report, and we're going to take a look at the key metrics, which we believe are the most important ones which you should cover in your reports. And of course, we're going to take a look at the My Reports tool and find out what kind of reports you can create and how it can simplify your life and your reporting period. Okay, so first of all, what are the ingredients of a good report? So some of these things can be kind of obvious to you, but still I think it's very important to highlight them here before we proceed with the tools. That every report should be very clear and helpful. So if you introduce some metrics, if you introduce the graphics and any diagrams, it's really very important that the person can understand what they mean. So probably sometimes you need to include some text abstracts. Sometimes if you see that the numbers don't speak for you. And of course, it should be really helpful for your clients so they can understand and they can make some logical assumptions looking at this report. It's really, really good if you start preparing it ahead, because it can take really much time to get the data and to analyze it. And it's very important to understand what you're going to do with this data, how you're going to work with this further on. So we really recommend you to get prepared in advance and to be ready to get some clarifications if your clients maybe ask for them, and if your boss asks for them too, of course. The report should reflect the key metrics, and we're going to look at them today, because key metrics can be different depending on who you're reporting to and what kind of areas you're covering. And of course, we recommend that the report should be divided into sections. So because when you just present the report, which presents different kinds of information, for example, it's kind of report on different marketing spheres, and there is no abstracts between them, no spaces, and there are no special headlines, it can look a bit weird to your client and can be a bit not professional for your boss. So make sure that you divide everything into sections, that you group all the reporting information in the right way. And it's very important that report shows your commitment and your value, and it reflects the results of your work. So it actually should reflect the progress. So it's better to make a report do them monthly, and if you show an annual report, maybe it's good to include information about the periods of time. You can do it month to month. You can do it year to year. And it's really important that these numbers somehow demonstrate your involvement. So it shows you have reached this progress because you worked much on this. The report should also reveal some areas for improvement. So that means that it should show what kind of things can be done better, maybe, because it never comes to the fact that everything is perfect and there's nothing to work about. Usually there is something you can do better, there is something you can improve, and it's really good if the report includes some kind of conclusion and some recommendations on what you can do better. And that's especially important if you are working with some prospective client, for example, and you are not yet have this client in your pipeline, but maybe they can become your customers. So they're your prospective customers, and it's really good if you can show them the statistics and you can give recommendations on things which they need to do, which they need to implement to get some better results. And if you are working with your team, if you are for example, if you're a department of something, or if you're a group, and if you're making a report to your customer, and probably one of you is responsible for SEO and the other one is doing SMM or something like this, it's really good if you can somehow show the results of your teamwork, so that your colleagues understand that you value like the involvement, and the client understands that there is a whole team working on them, and there is not some kind of machine which creates the, I don't know, like texts and backlinks and something like this. And of course, it's very important, if you are reporting to a boss as a team, that you show which part of work has been done by some of you. Okay, and now we're going to cover the key metrics, which should be shown in the reports. And before we proceed to them, before I show you the slides, maybe you can provide some of your ideas about them. Like, how do you think, what kind of metrics can be really important when we're working on SEO? When we have the client who you make SEO for, or maybe you are a company and you are doing SEO by yourself, and you need to report to your maybe stakeholders or to your boss. How do you think which kind of metrics can be really important here? Okay, so let's actually take a look at them. We believe that it's really important to reflect the results on your positions in the area where you're promoting, and you can use it you can do it using our position tracking tool. And it's really important to show the information on the organic keyword ranking, because maybe there are some keywords which you're still not using in your strategy, but maybe if you check for the keywords which are already ranked nicely and maybe they can be relevant, you can include them to your strategy. You can add them to just maybe you want to add them in your strategy and to have some better results for them. Maybe you can focus on them as well. It's really important to show the site traffic, and you can do it actually by using Google Analytics and Google Search Console. It's possible to integrate them with our reports tool. I will show you later on. And if you are doing some technical SEO, we recommend to show your clients and also show your boss some website issues, because they can be influencing the results. Of course, they can be influencing the progress. And in the matter of SEO, it's also important to reflect the backlinks, to analyze the backlinks of yours, analyze the backlinks of your competitors sometimes, because it can give you some insights where you can get new backlinks from. And of course, it's important to check for the backlinks which can be harmful, which can bring some bad traffic to your website probably. And of course, it's important to focus on keywords which have been targeted. If we turn to PPC, if you're doing some PPC campaigns, it's also dependent on what kind of strategy you are having with your client, what you focus on, what are your goals. Is it traffic, or is it conversions? Is that some goals, or maybe it's some action or something else? This can be metrics like CPC, like CTR, total ad spend, number of conversions, and keywords with the better results, of course, conversion rate. And also in the position tracking tool of SEMrush, you can track not only your organic results, but your paid results as well. And if you are doing social media for your clients, it's important to show them things like actions and content saved by users. And of course, it's important to show how the impressions are going and how the engagement rate is is it declining or increasing, and the same as for the follower growth. And maybe there can be some kind of purchases made on app. And of course, it's important to analyze your audience and to check for demographic and all these kind of things, because you can reveal more about your audience by analyzing these metrics, and it's important to show them to your client as well. Okay, and now I would like to actually proceed to the tool, proceed to My Reports. So let's take a look at what SEMrush provides you with, what kind of reports we have, and how you can use them in your daily work and also in your annual reporting. So it's very easy to find My Reports. They are in the management section. You just click here and you appear on the page. If you are new to My Reports, we suggest you to take a look at our template gallery, because here we have prepared the reports which contain templates with the most popular and the most important widgets. So you can take a look at the reports which provide you with information on the monthly SEO. So for example, sorry, it's not this one. Yeah, this one. So you can actually analyze the traffic of the website, and you can check for the traffic sources, and you can take a look at the unique visitors chat and visits, and also you can see how the traffic is distributed between countries, and which countries bring more traffic to the website. And you can also check for the keywords, and you can check for those keywords which you have, for example, lost. So this report can be really, really helpful, both when you're already working with the client and you are doing a kind of annual or monthly report. And also it can be helpful when you are just working with the prospective client, and you want to show them how their traffic is going on now, and what kind of rankings they're having now, and how their technical SEO is doing, because all these basic things are implemented here. So if you need some report which is in-depth and at the same time it's short, monthly SEO report is a very good solution for this. If we go back to this gallery, we can see that we also have the reports domain comparison, where you can actually compare different domains. Maybe it can be your client and your competitors. You can check for the organic search positions, and actually all this information is based on what we have in SEMrush, but you don't have to make it by yourself. You just include all the data here and use these templates. Okay, and now I would like to show you how you actually create the report. And SEMrush is really amazing tool, I believe in this, because you can make a report from the scratch. And to do it, you just click here on the blank, and all you need to do is to define what kind of report you want to do, who you want to deliver it to, and what information you want to reveal here, like what kind of metrics you want to include. So all the widgets which are available can be seen here on the left, and this is the report itself, and you just drag and drop everything you need here. So for example, let's imagine that we are working with the Lonely Planet. Maybe they are our clients, and you want to make a report for them. So it's just the first time you're making a report. So let's imagine that we need to, first of all, of course, we need to name this report. And you have the things like the name and the subtitle. And first of all, I think it's very important to show them how their organic research is doing. For example, we can take a look at all the things like keywords by country. You can take a look at the proportion of paid versus organic traffic. You can check how the keywords are distributed and what are the organic top competitors. So there are many, many metrics which you can include from the organic part if you want to show them how they're doing organically. And actually, for every widget, you can get the information if you just hover the mouse over this sign. And if you understand that you really like this widget and you're going to use it pretty often, you can just click here, and it will go to your favorite spot. So it will actually appear in the favorites, and you will be able to actually use only the ones which you are mostly interested in. Okay, so let's, for example, take a look at the keywords by country. So what you need to do, you just drop and drag the report, you specify the domain which you would like to investigate, which you would like to provide the report on, and you specify the database, and also you can provide the current information. But if you are making the annual report, of course, and if you are maybe working on the report which you are doing for your prospective clients, you can actually include the data from some older periods. It is possible to do it if you have the Guru plan. if you have the guru or the business plan. And you just press OK. And what you have here is the organic results of the keywords, like by country. And I believe we can add some more widgets here. So for example, we can take a look at the top organic competitors. And you can choose between device, maybe desktop or mobile. So of course, it depends on what kind of audience your client is focused on and what kind of data you would like to show them. And you do the same thing, you just press OK. And maybe further on, you would like to analyze something like their backlinks. And in this case, you can choose between the information which we have here, and we have many different widgets, which is based on the backlink analytics data. So for example, you can compare their follow versus no follow rate. And the widget also will be like created, and it will be added here. And of course, you can take a look at the top backlinks. And I believe that you want to make your report looking more structured, like we have discussed in the very beginning. It's very important that you structure the report, that you divide it into sections. And to do this, we suggest that you use the special features which we have here. So for example, let's make the heading. So if we're speaking about the organic section, let's make the heading something like organic research, probably, and we can do it like this way. And once we switch to the backlinks, we surely can implement something like backlink analytics section. And it will look like this. Okay, also, if you're already working with your client, probably you have set up the special project for this client in our project section. And maybe you have used the tool which is called Backlink Audit, which actually analyzes the backlink profile and tells you about the backlinks which can be harmful, which can be of no use for your website. And you can also implement this part here. So you can, for example, add some kind of small summary. So that your client actually can have the idea of their website performance from all the sites. So they will be able to see their results in organic. They will be able to see how they are doing on with their backlinks. Are there any things which are improving, or like maybe there is something they need to work on. And of course, if you are doing the technical SEO for your clients, it's also important to include some issues from the site audit. So you can, for example, show them the general overview. And of course, you can add many other issues depending on what things you would like to specify on. So probably you want to check the HTTP implementation. Maybe like you are taking care of this, and you want to show them that there are like no mistakes and everything is doing very well, just because you're working on it so hard. Basically, it's very important to highlight the areas which are improving, because you are so much involved into this. And maybe your clients are doing something like social media. I mean, you are doing social media for them, and you can also include some information about this in the report. So as you see, it's very easy. You simply just choose the widget which you are interested in, and you drag and drop it right here. So in the social media, we can take a look at something like general things. And as you can see, I have a few projects here. So if you have a few projects, you can also switch between them. And I will show later on how you can actually create a report and use one and the same report for different websites. It's very, very easy because it saves lots of your time. And you just specify the channel and also the period of time. So maybe you have been working with this for a pretty long time and you want to show how it has improved. And maybe we want to see how their competitors are doing. So you want to check them by engagement, for example. And we can see, like, for example, they're doing much better. And also, if you are taking part in this, if you are working on this, it can be like really good sign of your work for your client. And of course, it can be totally the same if you are reporting to your boss, if you're working on some project within your company, and you see that the figures are getting better because you are working on this. But sometimes, of course, we need to highlight some bad things. I mean, like probably there are some issues which you are insisting on to be fixed, to be done different way, but probably your clients somehow resist. And in this case, you can just also show them some not very inspiring results and do some suggestions like, we believe we really need to do these things and implement that things. And in this case, things will go better. And of course, just like I have specified before, you can add some text. So for example, if you want to make some conclusion, probably, or if you want to make some suggestions on the improvements, you can also do it right here. And maybe if you want to make it look a bit brighter, probably, or maybe if you were doing some campaign, especially if you were doing some social media campaign, probably, and you want to include maybe some pictures, something else to drag the attention, you can also use the images here. You just can upload it or drag right here. And of course, in every report, in every widget, it's very convenient that if you understand that you don't like the widget, probably, maybe it doesn't reveal much, you can edit the widget. Like you can choose between channels, or maybe you can even delete it if there is something you don't want to reveal, probably. So, or maybe there is something you just dropped by mistake. So it's really very easy to work within this thing. And what's really good about this is that it works really, really fast. So, for example, if you're working with the like domain analytics or keyword analytics, and you actually you can reveal much data from this, and still it will not take you much time to wrap this data, because it will be processed like very quickly, and it will take you, I don't know, like no more than 10-15 minutes. Even if you're doing a report for the first time, you don't have to do anything manually, and all this information is like collected and very, very fast, and everything is reflected just within moments, which is really, really very, I think, handy thing. And once you have done the report, and if you understand that you want to use it further on for some other of your clients, you can use the quick modify function. And in this case, you can just actually specify any other domain which you want to collect information for. And all this will be kept in this report. And that means that you don't have to create another one for your client. You can do it just very, very easily within the ready-made report. So as we can see now, there are like a SEMrush logo everywhere, but actually, if you have the Guru plan, it's possible for you to improve these things, and you can actually use your own logo. You can drop it, or you can upload it, and it will be like kind of branded report. So you can present it to your clients, so it looks like more professionally. And also, if you have the business plan, it's also possible to make it like white label. And in this case, you can not only add your own logo, but you can also like remove all the kind of information about SEMrush, and your clients will receive the reports either from you, or you can actually schedule it and send them from the mail, which doesn't reveal at all that it's created by our tools, by a SEMrush company at all. Okay, so now we have made the report, and it's time to generate it. And there are like few ways you can do it. Like, for example, you can just email the report for once. You can include the address which you want to send this report to. This can be your client or boss. And you can also enter some text here. Or if you understand that this report should be a regular one, like you want to report it, for example, once a month, maybe you can schedule the report and you can do it like weekly, monthly, even daily. If you have a client who is like, I don't know, very, very special for you, who is very worried about their results. And afterwards, you just press generate and send, and the report will be sent to your client. Or if you don't want, you don't have to actually to schedule. You can just send it once. Okay, and actually, the idea of all this thing is that it saves your time so much. I mean that you don't even have to, when you schedule the report and you want it to be sent like every month or every week, it is possible that you actually include in the widgets the information that you want information to be like recollected every week, for example, or every month. And your manual work will be minimized because your clients or your boss will receive the fresh data every week or every month without even your participation. So, of course, we recommend you to take a look at the metrics. But if it's kind of project which you have been working on for a pretty long time and you work with the SEMrush tools and actually you see the results regularly, or you just don't want to spend your time on reporting them, on updating them, SEMrush will do it all for you. So you don't have to spend your time on this. Okay, and there are some more opportunities which I would like to show you here. So actually, you can also connect your Google Analytics and your Google Search Console here. So there are some widgets which are available. So for example, you can check for the overview. You can specify some metrics chart. You can check for top traffic channels. And you can, so there are many metrics which you can actually reveal here. So what you need to do is, like, if you're working with a client already, you can set up the project, and afterwards you just connect your Google Analytics, and you will be able to get all this data right from there and to reveal it here. And all will be combined into one report. So you will not have to do two different reports. You won't have to make one from Google and another one from SEMrush. All these metrics can be combined just right here. And also it's the same for the Google Search Console. You can also get some information from it. So you can provide your client with more metrics, which is also can be very helpful and quite convenient. And don't forget to name your report. So for example, if it's the first one, you can call it something like Search Report, for example. All the reports which you create are kept in your list. So it's like everything that you have done can be revealed here. It can be seen here. And if you just have created the report and you understand that you want to use it further on, you don't want to duplicate it, you can just save it to My Templates that will be collected here, and you will be able to get back to this report again and again. So to do it, you just simply need to hover over the GIA. So in this GIA, you can generate PDF if you want to, like, to have a PDF on your own, for example. You can edit the report if you want to remove any widgets, if you want to add any widgets, any new ones. You can actually copy it. You can modify, like I have shown you, like if you want to make the same report, but for another company, for another client, you can easily do it here. And actually, you can create template. Yes, for this, you just press the button and your report will go to templates. So you can use it for creating some further reports. And of course, if you understand that you're not going to use the report any longer, you can delete it. Also, what we suggested to do is sometimes when you're working with your clients, it looks like there is so much information to be shown, so many widgets in one report, so many different sections. Maybe it can be a good idea if you do kind of separate reporting. Maybe if you only provide some report, for example, for social media, like this. So you just only make the report on the posts. So you only just drag the widgets which are relevant for social media. Or maybe if you are doing the SEO, we really recommend it to make the separate report for site audit overview. And besides, it's a one which is really comprehensive one. And if you're doing technical SEO for your client and you want to get some really good results with this, it's important to show them all the issues which have been identified. And it can be the example of really good and in-depth report. Instead of just showing them only some widgets in some big reporting. So probably it can make sense if you just do separate reports for different sections, for different areas you are taking, and especially if you're working maybe with a team. Also, your colleagues can create different reports for different areas they're taking up, and thus it can maybe make sense in some cases. So you can send a few ones, or maybe you can send this one once a month and another one you send once in 2 weeks, because also sometimes for some of the clients the metrics on technical SEO can be, for example, more important than the ones on the advertising, or probably they are very keen on the social media results, and you can send them the reports on social media every week, and reports on SEO, for example, once a month. Okay. So right now I would like to take a look at the questions, because I see that there are some of them. So let me take a look. So the first question is, the report tool is extremely helpful for exporting visual metrics and certainly makes the process on obtaining them easier. However, I find the text document editing tool to be very limited. Okay. So you have to use some kind of some kind of other tools to make them a bit more comprehensive. Okay, does the SEMrush have any plans for adding more advanced text editing features, or alternatively adding a connector to link visual metric exports directly into Google Docs or other documents? Okay, thank you for your question. So right now, yeah. So I understand that there is always a room for for better performance. There is always the possibility to make something better and more complete, and this is why you can always send feedback. In almost in every hour tool, in every hour tool, yeah, you can send a feedback, because we really appreciate it, and we always encourage our users to provide the feedback on all the tools which you are using, because it can help us make a SEMrush better and make it a tool which is really appreciated by all the marketers and which can be used by digital marketer in every sphere. So please, if you really have this kind of feedback, I will surely I will transfer your question to our product owner, so they know your concern. And also, I recommend all of you to send feedback. If you have, for example, you can send any kind of feedback, probably you would like to add some widget, or maybe there is some feature which can be really helpful, or maybe you have the examples of I don't know, of some other widgets and other tools, or some other functions or features which are available there, and you would like to SEMrush to make a kind of maybe very same thing, not the same one, but very, very similar to them. So please feel free to share, because we will be really grateful for this. And if we have like much feedback on this kind of thing, we will try to improve it like as soon as possible, and to make it like better for you. Okay, and the next question is, does SEMrush have plans to integrate LinkedIn into social reporting tools? Well, we actually, so we have LinkedIn in our social media, but it's only for your own like profile, so you can't collect information for competitors. And I think I will also refer this question to our team who are developing the tool, so they can show some information for me. And afterwards, I think we can get back to you, and maybe in the mail, and specify on this. Okay, and there is another question. It's not actually about the reports. But it's a very, very popular question. How do we properly connect our Google Analytics account to SEMrush? Okay, so we have in our knowledge base, I believe we have a special kind of manual, or special kind of article where we explain how you do it, because there are ways to connect Google Analytics and ways to connect Google Search Console. They're a bit different. So in both cases, you just need to be logged in, and this is some basic things, and you need to provide the access to the data. But if you want to know the details, we really have the screenshots for this. We really have this process described a very detailed way. And if you have any questions, like any practical ones, for example, you have tried to do it and you have failed to, please just feel free to get back to us, and we will. Our customer support team will be happy to help you. Yeah, because I can't show you here, because actually it will show like our one Google Analytics, and it's something which is like confidential. So unfortunately, I can't show it right here to you. But generally, it's not very, very hard thing to do, and our team also will be happy to help you if you face any difficulties. Okay. And now that we also have some time left, I would like to show you the example of the report, which you can do, for example, for your prospective client. So it can be like very easy and very short one. So let's imagine that you want to work with the company, with the website, which is like selling different presents. And you want to show them how they are doing right now, and I would like to show you what kind of widgets you can use and how you can present them. So of course you need to think about your report title. So it can be something like maybe can be market research for them. Or when you are actually working with your prospective clients, try to use some phrases and some headlines which show that you have like done pretty much research before you have prepared this report. And you can specify, for example, if you're doing for some month, or if you're collecting the results which are fresh ones, we recommend you to specify the data in the subtitle. So what can we take a look when we are working with the prospective clients? You can take a look at the organic search, of course. You can see how the keywords are distributed between the countries. And also, it's very important to take a look at the proportion between the organic and paid traffic. And for example, if they want to improve their organic traffic, maybe they want to for example, to get rid of paid traffic at all, you can give some suggestions here on keywords. So you can do some keyword research with the help of our keyword analytics. You can use some reports, and you can present the keywords which you believe can be relevant for them, which they can also add to their strategy, probably. And also you can show them how many keywords they're having rankings for right now, like how many of them are in the top 3 position or in top 10, top 100, and things like this. And maybe you can give them some recommendation on what things you can do to make more keywords in top 3, for example, or to get more keywords from top 20 to top 10. Or probably you have some other ideas about this, about getting this traffic. It's important to show them their current backlink profile, how many backlinks they're having now. And also we suggest to set up the project and to set up the Backlink Audit tool, so they can also see like how many like poor backlinks they have, like are all of these backlinks really relevant ones for them. And also you can set up the like link building tool for them maybe in future, and you can suggest like what kind of things they can do to improve their backlink profile. And of course, if we're speaking about the traffic analytics, it's important to understand where their clients are coming from, and you can show them their traffic sources. And actually, in this case, it shows us that most of their traffic comes from the search, and it's really good for them if they are focused on their organic results. But probably you can improve something with the referral traffic. Maybe you can work more on social media, for example. Maybe you can take a look at their groups and give some recommendations, give some suggestions on like what kind of actions they can take to make this progress bar a bit longer. And also you can show them top competitors, of course. So you can show them how many keywords they're sharing and like they can see which ones are the most the most important competitors for them. And further on, you will be able to focus on them, of course, with the help of our tools. And you can check for some other metrics if they're interested in. And of course, it's if we're speaking about competitors, you can also show them the traffic with these competitors. So here actually we show you the number of keywords which they share and the number of keywords the competitors are ranked for. But you can also show them like how much traffic their competitors get and how many unique visitors they have and how long is the visit. So here the metrics look pretty much like not the same, but they're quite similar. But sometimes the difference can be much bigger. And in this case, you can also analyze the competitor, and you can suggest like what things you can implement for your clients to make things better. And all these things actually are relevant for your boss as well. So it can be good if you can use this kind of metrics and implement these kinds of widgets, so you can show how your competitors are doing, and you can find some areas for improvement of your business. Okay, and also even if you are working with the prospective client, not the one which is your like the client you already have had for a while, recommend you to set up the project and to set up the site audit tool, and to show them things like problems they might be having with their website. Maybe there are some problems with the like links, maybe, or maybe there are some problems with the sitemaps. The pages are not being crawled properly, and you can show it all right here. And this report can look like really very like imposing, especially if you add some text with your recommendations. If you add the headings, you can make the page breaks if you want this information to look more separated, and do many things like this. And of course, don't forget that you can actually use your own logo if you are using the Guru product or the business product. Okay, so as you can see, reporting can be made much more easily and much more quicker once you start using My Reports tool. So you can actually include all the data which you really want to share, and you can use the reports which have been already created for you. So it can even simplify your job. You can schedule reports and you can send them even without your participation. You can make them look super professional, as if you have done them all by yourself without even referring to SEMrush if you are using the business subscription. And so actually you can do many things. You can also reveal some data for you, of course, not only for your clients. So it can also be used if you want to to quickly get some insights on the metrics and on the data. And of course, I would like to show you about. I would like to show you our knowledge base where you can learn more about our reports, because probably you want to specify something, maybe you want to check that you understand everything correctly, and you can find it all in our knowledge base. You just need to type it and find all the information which you need here. Okay, so now I think that we can take a look if we have any other questions left. And I think that I can actually stop sharing my screen and get back to you. Okay, so there is the question like, with the Guru plan, can you explain why some metrics say I have reached my limits when I drill down with the metric to a specific country? For example, traffic analytics, summary metric. Well, actually, there are certain limits for you, depending on what kind of plan you are having. There are some limits on like the amount of results you can have. And of course, it's the same with the countries. You can use something like 2 or 3 databases within your basic plan. And if you want to get like access to some more bases, or maybe if you want to get some extended data on some database, because some of our databases are really large and some of them are smaller, and maybe you want to get some more data, you can actually like reach out to our sales team and they will consult you regarding this, because of course you can obtain much more information. You can, for example, if you are interested in some certain database, we can also provide you the access to this space. Okay, yeah. So I mean the small databases, of course. I mean, like, you can use our large databases like to the most extent. You can spend on the limits on them. But if we're speaking about small databases, there is like limitation on the number of these databases you can use. Yeah, so it's better if you're really interested in this data, you can reach out to the sales team for the small databases, and they will consult you regarding this. Okay. And as for the traffic analytics, it's also the point is that actually traffic analytics is like the part of SEMrush which we have worked on for pretty much time, and it had a very large update in summer and autumn, and it shows you so much more data now, and also it provides you with the data on mobile results as well. So traffic analytics was included completely. Like, you could use all the data which we provide on this in the business subscription if you subscribed before like 8th November. And if you want to get it now, if you want to have the access to all the reports of traffic analytics, like if you want to have not only, because with the Pro plan, with the Guru plan, you can have the basic coverage of all this data we provide. But if you want to see in details like traffic by countries, if you want to see details of traffic by subdomains and these things, you can get it, but you can also get it for some like additional sum. And our sales team will be happy to consult you regarding this. Okay. Well, so I see there was a question about LinkedIn, the social channel option. Okay, I think I will check it up for you, okay, and I will get back to you on this question. And finally, it's why can't I add an additional email to recipients of the report? Yeah, that can also be like a limit on the amount of people who you add to the recipients, because actually it's can be logically explained, because it's like you usually report to like 2 people in the company, and you usually report to 3 of them or something. And it's the fact is that maybe you can maybe you want to show different data to different recipients. Maybe not all of them need the same data, but also you can they can be limit depending on your plan. So you can get back to us on this question, and you can just reach out to our customer success and specify the plan that you are having now, and specify the number of recipients which you would like to send the report to, and they will suggest you like the best option for this. Okay, so it looks like there are no more questions at the moment. And so finally, I really hope that this session was helpful for you, and that you have learned more about our reports tools. So now you can see that you can use them easily, and you can save lots of time, and you can actually like show wonderful results to your boss and to your clients, and you can show them really beautiful reports which can be made in minutes, not in hours. And I'm really happy that you have come here today, that you have spent your time with us. And we welcome your feedback, and we welcome any questions you might have. So please feel free to send us feedbacks. Please feel free to reach out to us in our social media channels, and you can also call us. You can reach out to our customer support team, because all of us are here to assist you, to make your experience with SEMrush easy and perfect. And I wish all of you good results, or even best results by the end of the year. And I wish you to implement all the changes that can lead to greater success in the upcoming year. And I certainly wish you the nice rest of the year, nice Christmas, nice New Year. And please keep using SEMrush, and keep doing your job perfectly. So thank you once again for your attention, and have a nice rest of the day. Thank you.